We are live, Mr. Gracey. What's going on?
Yo.
Yo.
Hey.
I'm going to make a quick statement for everybody out there. I have a lot to say on what's going on with my cousin Joey, but today would probably be coming from a place of anger and hurt. So I'm going to save this for when my words could be more eloquent and, put out there with more love in them. But thank you, everybody, for your prayers last night. It truly, truly helped. It seems like today is the day that we might be saying goodbye to him. So I just want to let everybody know that, our family is struggling through this. So prayers and good vibes go a long way. And I thank you for that yesterday. Definitely felt it. And thank you to everybody who reached out. It means the world. On a good note, Mr. Gracey, we have some cool guests coming on today. Miss Tammy Vincent. She has a podcast. I believe the name of it is Child of Dysfunction. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, Adult Child of Dysfunction. So it should be a fun conversation to have, or not. It could be serious. We'll see.
We'll let it flow.
We'll let it flow. So what's going on, man? Is the world a better place?
It's getting better slowly. Yeah. Of course, the left just fights the shit out of it. So anything that's done they have to take the opposite of the opposite on. It's a trip. It's crazy to watch.
It is crazy.
I was just I just saw this video of Billy Joe from Armstrong from Green Day. It was a picture of the big screen at his concert, and he's just going, "Why don't you shut the fuck up, Elon? Why don't you shut the fuck up, Trump?" It's like, I mean, what? Okay, you don't like Trump, I get it. TDS, fine. You don't like his policies. You don't like how he speaks. You don't like what he does. It's fine.
Yeah.
But why are you pissed off at Elon Musk? Really?
He loved him 2 years ago.
Right, you loved him 2 years ago. He's the car guy. He was a fucking green electric car guy, and and it's like you're pissed at him because he's trying to find all the waste, fraud, and abuse in the government and make the government more efficient. And make your tax dollars work better.
Yeah,
that you pay in. I'm sure Billy Joe pays a lot of taxes, and you're just fine with your taxes being shit away to this ridiculous things.
Right.
Why are you pissed? What? It doesn't make any sense.
And if I remember correctly, Chad, wasn't Elon Musk and President Donald Trump on the left years ago?
Well, they were both Democrats, yeah.
And
absolutely.
It seems like not their ideologies have changed, but the party of the left's ideologies have changed. So while they're still going the same thing, it's like party is lost that they were once involved with.
The left got radicalized under Obama, and everything started to change. And they went way far left. I mean, it's just, but now normal is not, I was just listening to this guy talk about this. He was saying that, the left went so far left that now normal seems to be radically right, but it's just normal.
Right.
Common sense, men not playing in women's sports and having a secure border, and I don't know, it's trying to figure out the government efficiency and make your tax dollars go further and try to try to reduce our deficit that's out of fucking control. That shit was going so crazy that now normal seems like it's as far right, you're extremist. It's like, no, you don't remember what normal is like. We're going back to fucking normal. Okay. It's just wild.
It is freaking wild, man. Sorry, I was just sending our guests the restream link. I forgot to do that somehow, but it is sent now. Sorry about that, Tammy. Back in action, folks. Yeah, man. It is nuts. I'm just hoping that people would wake up. It's like, I just don't understand how you could flip-flop just for a party. They're warmongers now. They're doing things.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's insane. The Democrats are now warmongers. They want to continue the war in Ukraine now just to oppose Trump. It's like, what are you doing? There's 3 outcomes for the war in Ukraine. Ukraine, it can't win the war. Like, it's impossible, statistically impossible for them to win the war through manpower, through money that they're not going to get anymore, and through ammunition. Like, the West is out of ammunition, basically. Okay, they don't have the people. They're literally riding up in vans and kidnapping men off the street and abducting them, taking them to the front line.
Wow.
That's not sustainable. So there's three outcomes. There's a settled peace with Russia where there's going to be concessions. Obviously, that's how wars are settled. There's
Right.
concessions, unless there's complete defeat like the Japanese or the Germans. Great, that was a different thing. But like,
they needed to be defeated. Yeah,
they needed to be defeated. But Russia is either going to take over Ukraine, or there's going to be a settled peace, or there's going to be World War III. Which one do you want?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like,
if you care so much about Ukraine, you don't want Russia to take it over, so we have to have a settled peace.
Yeah.
And you certainly don't want World War III.
Right. And what Trump was trying to do with us going in there, getting the rights to the minerals and stuff like that, that puts Putin in his place and American people in that country and lets him know you cannot fucking come after this land because Americans are here. And if you do that, you're now
that was the whole purpose. That was the whole purpose of that deal, is to, one, help America make some money back through the rare earth minerals that are there. Two, put Americans not American troops, but Americans on the ground in private companies that are there mining the minerals, but then also show there's no daylight between America and the Ukrainian people. That would stop Putin. I mean, in theory, it would stop Putin from invading again.
For sure.
But Putin doesn't want Ukraine to go into NATO. That's been his red line the whole time.
Yep.
Okay. Because in 1992, Gorbachev allowed a unified Germany to join NATO, and James Baker, the Secretary of State at the time, promised them, we will not move another inch east. NATO will not move another inch east.
Yep.
Look what's happened since then. Poland, Hungary, Romania, I mean, the Baltic states, and Putin's red line was fucking Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. Would you want a Japanese military alliance in a base in Mexico?
Right.
We wouldn't stand for that. We would not stand for that. That would be our red line. We already had a red line with the Cuban Missile Crisis and Jack Kennedy in the 60s.
Right.
Like, Jack Kennedy was willing to blow up the fucking world to stop them from putting weapons in Cuba. So this is, and I'm using it as a parallel, but this was Putin's red line, and he said that over and over and over again.
And there was signed treaties on it and everything. I mean, and like you said, it was multiple times that they crossed it. It wasn't just once. So how was he supposed to? And again, I'm not a Putin sympathizer. I'm just
absolutely not
thinking along his lines. How is he supposed to know? Like, okay, they're not going to come into Ukraine and make this NATO. They've already moved that line 3 or 4 times from what we agreed upon.
But this is what the left does. Like, if you say anything positive or try to explain why we're here, you're a Putin sympathizer. Oh my God. Oh, it's like, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
And that's very easy to do, to say.
First of all, it is. But first of all, why do you fucking hate Russia so much? Like, why do you actually really hate Russia so much? We do all this business with China. The amount of human rights violations in that country that are currently going on is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of business with them. So what makes Russia so much more worse than China?
Chad, we've spoke about it. Like, China is an oppressed society. The fact that they don't have toilet bowls, they shit in holes, and they're still using chopsticks when we have forks and knives shows they're keeping their people oppressed. Let's face it. Do you ever see anybody eat rice with chopsticks, dude? They have to shovel it in. It's like, it's a hard way to eat. It's archaic. Yeah. But it's an oppressed society, and it's been forever. They keep them down. Their propaganda machine is strong.
Well, Jason says Putin is an asshole. Yeah, he is a fucking asshole. And so is Xi Jinping. He's a fucking asshole too. He installed himself permanently as president with no elections. He's a fucking asshole too. But why are we so much more against Russia? Because we've been told to.
Yeah,
or they've been told to. Like, whatever. It's like, okay, let's do a deal with Russia. Let's stop the war. Let's stop the killing. That's all Trump wants to do. He said it from the beginning.
And China, I mean, because Russia's been provocative and gone into a country that they technically shouldn't have, but China's been talking about Taiwan for a while, and not taking it peacefully because the Taiwanese don't want to be part of the China rule. So it's like they're slowly ramping up to become, an invading country. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you gotta nip it all in the bud and fucking, I don't know. It's like such a rock and a hard place, man. I was listening to Bill Murray and Joe Rogan talk, and
Great podcast, by the way. That was awesome to have Bill Murray on there.
it was, man, until the end when they started talking about the homeless problem and you saw like the disagreement. One was
Yes.
like, leave the problem. The other one was like, we got to fix it, but how? And it was like,
Yeah.
it almost seemed like Bill Murray was like throwing his hands up and like, the problem is the problem. There's nothing to do about it type of deal.
Right. Yeah.
And Rogan was kind of,
that was when I got a little uncomfortable. And Rogan's like, well, you can't just leave it. Like, like, why would you just leave it?
yeah,
It's just getting worse. It's not getting better.
it was cool to watch.
He's trying to explain to him that basically the homeless industrial complex.
Yes.
The government of California puts billions of dollars into these NGOs, and they all, everyone makes big salaries and they're all making money. They have no incentive to stop homelessness. They want to continue to make the money.
Right. And Joe made a great point by saying, like, listen, they're getting paid great salaries to solve the problem. Right. And then once they solve it, they won't have the job. So they're working to not solve the problem is, what seems like going on. The problem has only gotten worse since they came up with the solution and hired people to get rid of it.
Yeah. And they're making the same money no matter if it gets worse or better. Right. So you would think if it's getting worse and you're going to be de-incentivized by not making more money if it's getting worse. If it's getting better, then you make more money. That's that's how you solve problems.
Yeah. It's it's fun it was fun to watch and kind of see because it shows like either way, like people are just kind of stuck in their thinking, and long form conversations and seeing another person's point of view could kind of make some headway and see other people's point of view where, you could have your blinders on and not seeing somebody else's perspective type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like, they both had blinders on to one side of the situation, and to watch them kind of talk through it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's the way of the world, man. Talking it out, getting in a nice civilized conversation.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like you should be able to have a civilized conversation about anything, really.
Right.
But it just seems like the left will they don't want to hear anything that's counter to their beliefs, and they just shut it down. They don't want to talk to you, or they start hurling pejoratives and calling you names and like attacking you personally. It's like, no, but we're talking about an issue. Stop calling me I just had some guy on Facebook calling me a clod because I was telling him what's going on with the Ukrainian war. He's like, "Oh, you're a Putin apologist. You're a clod." I'm like, okay, here we go with personal attacks. That means that your argument is not valid because, it's not a very good argument because now you're calling me, attacking me personally.
Right. Well, it was a telling sign that when Putin did that interview with Tucker Carlson, that he said he hadn't spoken to Biden since the war had started. That is absurd, dude.
That's not diplomacy.
No, that's like the basic form of it. It just shows that Biden wasn't even thinking about solving the problem. He was just adding to it. Like Putin wanted to speak to him before he invaded to get the okay that NATO wasn't going to be into Ukraine, and this whole war could have been avoided, and no fucking phone call was picked up. And of course, what are you going to do then? Like I'm not saying that Putin made a right move, but you're putting a leader of a country in between a rock and a hard spot, and he is thinking he's defending his people and his land. It's like, talk to the guy. Don't fucking sit there, shut him out, and call his bluff, because look where we're at now because of that.
Right. And then you have to wonder, then you get into the speculation of why that didn't happen. And it goes into money laundering and, making all the money for the profits for the war machine in the West.
It's crazy, man. You hate the fucking, that's why it comes down to really, we elect our officials, and you have to not be voting along your party lines anymore. Look into the people that were getting into office and see where their fucking ideals lie, because you could have known Biden was on the wrong side of history since his 50 years in office. He was a racist back in the day, a bigot, fucking all this stuff. It's like, come on, man. Did he change? Maybe
Yeah.
not for the better. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
I like how a lot of people on the left called Trump and Elon. Now they're calling Trump and Elon morons. It's like, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, you can call them a lot of things. That's fine, but they're not fucking stupid people. I mean, come on,
No.
dude. They're
Negative,
not dumb people. Like, that's ridiculous.
But we do have our guest coming on, Miss Tammy Vincent, Mr. Gracey. Hello, Tammy. What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Hi, Tammy. Thanks for
Doing
coming on.
well. Yes, thank you for coming on. We were saying the name of your podcast before you came on. I believe it is
Adult Child of Dysfunction,
Yes.
Thriving After Chaos. Yeah.
Oh boy.
What a great name, Tammy. So talk to us. How long have you been doing this podcast? When did it start?
It started about September of 23. So it's fairly new, about 14, 15 months, maybe a little longer.
Rock on. And what was the inspiration behind it? What gave you the let's go and do it?
Well, I coached and I started coaching originally for just adult children of alcoholics and realized that honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the dysfunction is. Dysfunction is dysfunction. So whether you grew up with addicted parents or just abusive or homeless or poor or whatever it was, it's all the same. Does all the same to you.
Sure.
What's your background? Are you a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist?
No, I have my degree in psychology and education, but honestly, it's mostly lived experience. I mean, I do have an NLP practitioner license and I'm certified to EFT tap and a couple of those other modalities that I used while I was kind of coming to the other side, I guess you could say. But most of it's honestly lived experience.
Well, that's some of the most valuable for sure.
For sure. Yeah, you don't realize the education you get by living life and all that jazz. Because some of those letters you threw out there, I'm like, what are EFT, all that? I'm like, what are those? What's going on there? But yeah, I mean, life experience is a huge part of education that I think is overlooked at times.
Well, it's funny because my very first client, she said to me, Tammy, I've been going to a therapist for 11 years. I've given them $118 a week for 11 years. And in 18 minutes, you told me more about why I am the way I am than she did in 11 years. And I said, because I was you. I was like,
right. Wow.
Been there, done that.
So
That's amazing.
That really is. That's a cool story. Did you find it like easy or hard to kind of open up on your podcast and kind of get real with people?
I have always found it very easy just because for a while I didn't actually, when my father was still alive, I didn't because a lot of the stories kind of resonated with him and were around him, and I have no hard feelings to him. But honestly, at the end of the day, people need to hear it because the more people that hear the stories, the more people know they're not alone and they will reach out to somebody. And that's what helps the cycle stop.
100. Yeah, well put. You don't realize that, sometimes you think your struggles are insular or solo, but you don't realize a lot of people kind of going through the same things and talking about it and getting your story out there sometimes connects with people. And it's a good thing. It goes a long way.
Absolutely. And then they have the nerve to step out and just say something because so many people think they're alone or that their story is so unique. And I promise you, if it's happened to one person, it's happened to hundreds of not thousands.
Right.
Just a different version of it.
For sure. Tammy, do you want to dive in a little bit about the dysfunction that happened in your family and kind of let us know what happened there or whatever?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So it actually started when my mother was pregnant with me. She was doing cocaine, which I didn't find out until I was in college, but it makes a lot of sense now. I have some of the weird blood things that I have, but it was just both of my parents were drinkers. My dad was more what they call it a functioning alcoholic, where he got up to work every day and did all the things. My mom was more of the had all the other mental health issues wrapped up in the alcoholism. So the alcoholism was probably the least of the problems, but it's the one that we saw the most as the kids. It was a lot of manipulation, a lot of lying, a lot of neglect, abuse, physical abuse, doing things that no parent should do to their children, telling them they hate them at 5 years old and You know, I don't think a day went by I didn't hear, I wish you were never born. My life would have been so much better without you. And now I look back at it and it was just such a tormented woman and very sick and dealing with her own demons. But then I took the brunt of it.
Sure.
And yeah.
Wow.
So where does the healing come from that, Dan? Because that sounds like a really difficult thing to kind of go through. Like, where is the kind of aha moment where you're like, I'm a product of this dysfunction and I could either keep going with it or, you know, pick myself up and do, you know, kind of what you're doing?
My biggest aha moment came probably when I was 26 and I was reading that book, Love You Forever. Do you guys have kids?
I do not.
I do have,
No. Okay,
I have kids, yes.
Okay, so there's a little children's book and it's called Love You Forever. And it's a children's book about a mom's unconditional love between her son and herself. And she's like going through the stages with him and loving him no matter what he does. And just he's being terrible twos and then a teenager and all these things. And at the end of the book, the tides are turned and he is holding mom, frail
wow.
and weak
Right.
and vulnerable. And he's singing the same song to her that she sang to him all throughout him growing up. And it literally, which should have been this like serendipitous moment where I was like super happy and like, oh, this is so sweet. It freaking hit me like a 2x4. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what this means. Like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what it feels like. I don't think I can do this. And I was actually pregnant with my first son, who is now 30, and I loved from the day he was born.
Oh.
But at that moment, it was like, holy crap, like I'm going to be a mom, and I don't even know what it feels like to hug someone, really.
Wow. Just a quick question. Do you think, because this message you were hearing was of course huge in that, but do you think maybe some of the hormones that you were going through, like having your son inside of you, maybe sparked some of that too?
Oh yeah, hormones spark a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yes, no, but it was, you know, and then I threw myself into learning because I was like, if I don't understand something as big of a concept as unconditional love, what else has gone wrong?
Yeah.
Like what I thought was normal. I mean, I was already married at this point, and people would say to me, you know, it's not okay that your husband does that, or it's not okay that your husband talks to you that way. And I'm like, really? Really? And they were like, no, you can stand up for yourself. You can say no. You can do this. You can do that. Like people can't violate you in every way, shape, and form whenever they feel like it. And I'm like, really? That's kind of a cool concept. So it really struck me as I'm missing a lot of big concepts. So, and of course, we didn't have the internet back then. So I couldn't just Google, you know, Google alcoholism, addiction, suicide, incest. Like I couldn't Google all these things.
Right.
So I had to go to the library and read. And in the reading, back then they just called them self-help books. Then it went to psychology, and now it's like, I guess, personal growth, I guess you could call it. But I did realize, I mean, I realized I had a lot to learn. So I threw myself into therapy. I threw myself into being hypnotized, anything that could get me past this feeling of a shell of a person, really.
Wow. And I'm sorry, did you have something, Chad?
I was just going to say, it's just beautiful to hear that you broke the cycle.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And, you know, I joke kind of with my kids because they probably hear I don't know if they even know if they listen to my podcast, but I'm like, they took a little of the brunt of that because I was at the beginning of my stage. You know, I didn't have boundaries with my first two. I just wanted to be exactly opposite of what my parents were. So I was never going to tell them I hated them. I was never going to make them feel little. I was never going to tell them their feelings didn't matter. You know, I just did the opposite. So in that, yeah, they took a little of the brunt of that, but they understand. And I tell people the best way you can heal your children and stop the cycle is to heal yourself.
Yes. That is so
Beautiful.
Well said, because you don't realize, like, maybe if you don't heal yourself, you're kind of passing these things on and stuff like that. And that really is the key to helping others, is to make sure you're 100% or close to it.
Oh, absolutely. You can't pour from an unfull cup, basically.
Yeah.
And really, if you don't know any better, when I grew up, I didn't know any better. It was all I had ever seen. So how am I supposed to pass on, you know, stand up for yourself or know what your values are and all these things that are so important, especially in today's children that struggle, if I didn't even know myself?
100%. And well said and well put. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, both young and old, who kind of had all those same feelings. And, you're thinking, this is just normal. This is how it is. Like, everybody has this type of dysfunction, or, of course my mother should tell me she hates me, blah, 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 blah. Like, but the fact that you could hear other people saying like, no, that's not the right thing, and there's better ways to go about it is huge, because you could be kind of stuck in that zone and not knowing the better side of things. If that's all you know, you're a product of your environment a lot of times.
Absolutely. And I heard my whole life, you'll never do anything because of your parents. You'll never be anybody. Even my father told me, you'll never, I'm sorry I didn't get you near the right people that you could be successful. I'm like, wow. I mean, looking back at that, I'm like, wow, that was really in his demented way, was him being kind and showing he cared for me. But I'm like, wow, you talk about some twisted mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
So almost like he kind of knew he wasn't the best thing around, and he should have had some kind of better people and influences in your life, but just never got around to it.
Well,
of
and
deal.
he was just trying to survive himself. I mean, he did tell me when I was 13, he said, Tammy, your mom and I are doing irreparable damage to you guys, and I don't know how to help you.
That's
So
a lot
I was
to
like,
put on a
okay. And then that was
13-year-old,
the
Tammy.
last we ever spoke of it.
Wow.
Tammy, that's a huge statement to put on a 13-year-old, like, and I get, first time parents, it's a learning curve, but they used to say like, there's no book on being a parent. Now there's thousands. So people go out and read some books on it. Cause that's,
Did he grow up in a similar environment?
I mean, he had his demons. I mean, he was sexually abused as a child by a relative for many, many years. And, he was the happiest, most sweet, loving, gentle man ever. But even my kids said when he would go to sleep, it was like the demons came out. He would swear and cuss and yell the whole time he was sleeping. He was just so, he just never dealt, it wasn't cool back then, or it wasn't even acceptable to talk about things like being violated or being sexually molested. You just didn't talk about it.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. There was a lot of underlying kind of deal with your own shit and go about your day back in the day, which is kind of crazy because a lot of people are in the same boat, and that camaraderie could really kind of bring you out of it.
Exactly. And you've probably, a lot of people out there listening have probably heard the book, The Body Keeps Score. And it's like everything is stored in your body. And I tell people, until you let go of it, it's going to get you somehow, somewhere, somewhere down the road. It's stored in there, and it's going to come out, whether it comes out in your relationships or physically or your mental health. Everything comes out. Nothing.
Is that Dr. Sornos? It kind of sounds like
Vanderkolk. I can never say his name, but Vessel Vanderkolk.
Howard, the only reason I say that because Howard Stern used to talk about some book by Dr. Sornos where he was talking about like lower back pain and stuff, and he was saying that it's not a physical ailment, but it's like a mental thing that you have, kind of putting that pain there. So that's why I think it was called the mind-body connection or something like that by Dr. Sornos. Yep. Don't quote me on that, but it seems similar in the concept. And childhood traumas could be stored in physical parts of the body. It sounds like, like kind of brouhaha, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah. When I was 18, I was throwing up blood from bleeding ulcers, and nobody ever said, what was your childhood like? They said, take Tagamet and see you in a year.
Right.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. Cause
don't get to the root problem. Just take some medication to cover it up.
Yeah. Cause
that's our Western medical system.
Yeah. Right.
You see a physical, problem as far as ulcers, and you're like trying to treat that, but not realizing that it could be the psychosomatic that caused that, and anxiety and all that jazz. Wow. Eye-opening, Tammy.
Oh, well, somatic healing now is so much of a thing. And I tell people you can do a quick check on your own self. If somebody says something wrong and all of a sudden you get this tension in your back, or you get your jaws clench, or, you feel what I call the eternal gut punch, and it's all in your body, and it's getting stored in your nervous system. And it will. I mean, that's fibromyalgia. I mean, what are the most painful things? They're all itis. They all end in itis, right?
Right.
Appendicitis, diverticulitis, bursitis. all that is inflammation. And inflammation is triggered by stress, whether it's physical or emotional.
And the fibromyalgia, isn't that kind of where they go when they kind of don't know what's wrong? They're like, you have fibromyalgia?
And nerve damage and your whole nervous system is just so freaking out of whack when you can't get it regulated that it affects everything.
So you mentioned something earlier where you tried hypnosis on top of therapies and all that stuff. Did you find any success in that area?
Not in the beginning, because honestly, I wasn't as open to it. Now I've done things like EMDR, which is like rapid eye movement therapy, and EFT tapping, which is like emotional freedom technique where you actually tap on meridian points. So now I'm very open to all the different modalities. And yes, hypnosis, even I've learned how to self-hypnotize myself so that even just I can bring myself in a stress level from a 10 to a 3.
Wow.
You know,
is so cool. It almost sounds like a meditative state when you're doing it to yourself. Is that kind of similar in it? Because I'm just wondering, if you kind of hypnotize yourself and you're in that hypnotized state, how do you come out of it? Like, do you have something set aside to pull you out?
Well, even during like regular hypnosis, it's, you see on TV and you see the bark like a dog, quack like a chicken, like or duck, all that stuff. And that's really not what it really is. You're just more of that like an alpha brainwave state where you're more susceptible to information and your mind is like 100% open. So you can self-hypnotize yourself and then you can come out. You can, when I do an exercise where I kind of walk myself down a flight of stairs and every step I count and I'm getting deeper and deeper into that kind of like relaxation. And then when I do what I got to do or talk to myself through what I have to talk to myself through, then I just come out. I just, I'm done. It's over. Thank you, Tammy. Let's get back.
Very cool.
Tammy, have you ever practiced any kind of plant medicine, mushrooms or DMT?
Not so much, but boy, I have a lot of people that have. I had a guy on my podcast not too long ago who did a lot of the ashwagandha and all of the plant-based medicine theory, like camp. He went to like a retreat and he said he was instantly healed from all of his PTSD in like a moment with that.
Yeah. I was curious because Joe Rogan talks about that a lot on his podcast, about how he thinks every world leader should, and everybody in like Congress and Senate should take, mushrooms and go on a trip, and like, because it opens your mind and makes you more open to humanity. It heals depression. I think they've done studies now with mushrooms will like suppress or take away depression for like up to 6 months after
PTSD, all that. Yeah.
All of that.
PTSD with DMT. Yeah.
And it's just having an open mind. It's like everything else. If you probably eat them and you're just like, whatever, you have to be willing to be open to the fact that these are going to work with you. That's the same thing with like the hypnosis. You have to at least explore the option, that be willing to know that it could work. But no, I haven't done any of the plant-based stuff except for nutraceuticals for nutritional basis. But I've heard some miraculous results with it.
Right. So don't take shrooms and go to a concert if you're trying to work out the traumas, do them in a setting. And I gotcha.
Well, you might get a good laugh out of it.
I mean, for sure.
So
that's really so eye-opening. So do you believe in like kind of the new age medicines like SSRIs and all this other stuff for dealing with traumas and past stuff like that?
I honestly believe in anything that is natural that God gave you, because we have it all. We have an intuition. We don't listen to it. We have, this sixth sense. We don't listen to it. We have all of this stuff inside of us, and there are nutraceuticals. There are, I literally sell essential oils, and I've given frankincense to someone whose dog had a tumor and it shrank down the dog's tumor with no explanation. So I've seen stuff working. So I believe and if nothing else, I believe in throwing everything at the wall and see what sticks, because not the same things are going to work for everybody. But I definitely believe that Western medicine is not the answer.
For everything. For some things, like penicillin might be a good one to keep around, but for sure.
I mean, I just had January 20th, I had a full-blown stroke. And
Oh, wow.
people are like, are you kidding me? And how did you get through that? And I'm like, well, I sat there on the floor completely paralyzed on my left side and used a little of my Reiki training to pull in some positive healing light, because if the Bible said God can heal you, I'm quite certain he was sitting with me because of the circumstance. He was right next to
Wow.
me.
Wow.
But after that, people like, how are you walking? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? And I'm like, the power of your mind.
Yeah.
And I also got a clot busting medicine, so that did help. So Western medicine is good, but
Right.
for that. But I believe I have literally spent $15,000 them trying to figure out why I have had a stroke, and there is no explanation. And all of my energy healing friends keep telling me, Tammy, you are in energy overload and something big is about to shift. And that is their explanation.
Wow.
Wow.
So are
Very
you
cool.
a Reiki like master? Because you mentioned Reiki. So are you a Reiki master? Is that something else that you're also into?
I do Reiki, but I really learned how to do it more for myself than to help other. I could do it, but I'm not like certified to train other people. I have a certification to do it like hands-on, but not like distance Reiki and stuff. So I really don't. I just use it honestly for myself. I have, I have a 3 slip disc in my neck, and I can bring myself from a 10 pain level to a 3.
Wow.
And that's worth all the training in the world.
Absolutely.
100. Reiki is like kind of like energy healing or something, right? Like, because I believe like people could put their hands like over your body and kind of, they're not touching, but there's like some kind of energy transformation going on.
It's basically using universal energy. So people can say, well, I don't believe in God. And I'm like, well, universal energy is universal. You can see it however you want to see it. I know when I do it, it's my God giving me the energy, but you could think it's the universe. You could think it's the stars, whatever it is, but it's literally universal energy, because we're all energy. I mean,
almost
if you're
that
on one
higher
side
power type of deal. Yeah.
If you're on one side of the room and you strum a G chord on a guitar, the guitar on the other side of the room is going to match that frequency. That's just science.
Wow.
So, it's a very big concept with a lot of stuff, but it's energy. And someone just asked, please explain Reiki, chakras, and meridians. And boy, that could be a whole big thing. Like we could talk about literally that forever, but like the chakras are the different areas of your body, and they'll say, oh, you have gut issues. That's your main, your whatever chakra. And there's stones and there's so much to it, but it's all universal energy is what it really boils down to. People talk about crystals and how they believe, holding a magnetite crystal or something will give you certain things. So they're all, somebody else said frequency, resonance, and vibration. Yeah. So we are all energy. I actually have a little machine that tests the frequency of different oils. So when I hold it in the morning, it kind of zaps out to my body a simulation of the different frequencies of every oil. And whatever my body reacts to right then and there is what my body will benefit from at the moment the most, because it's what matched that frequency.
Wow.
So, and I know holistic doctors that wake up in the morning, they put that machine on their thing, they go to their oils, the top 10 that it says, they either ingest them, rub them on their feet, or, put them in a pill if they can ingest them, and that they go on their day and they swear by it.
What would some of those oils be? Like mineral oils or?
Well, when I say the oils that I use are essential oils, so it would be like lavender and frankincense and myrrh and cinnamon. I mean, all kinds of different oil. Like there's
all flavors available at tammyvincent.com. Just
right?
No, joking.
No, but it's amazing. Like you talk about like what an oil does. People that take Valium and take all these antidepressants and these downers and stuff, if you inhale a pure lavender oil, literally it will
relaxing.
it'll drop your cortisol levels just as if you took a Valium instantly.
Wow. Yeah, you don't realize the natural stuff that's on this planet that is made, to work kind of symbiotically with the body.
Yeah, and people think it's new. It's not new. Frankincense was given to, it was a gift from Jesus. You know what I mean? It's been in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Or a
It's been
gift
around a
baby
while.
Jesus. It was a gift to Jesus, right? The three wise men, one of them brought frankincense and myrrh.
They used it for gifts. So it was like, it was been around for a long time, but frankincense is like the king of the oils. You know, it does everything. It helps everything.
And it's got a cool name.
So don't just drop all your medicine. I'm not saying that.
Right.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I don't think they were going that route with it, but talk to your doctor too. But maybe you could add some frankincense. I mean, it's natural, so I don't think you couldn't add that without a doctor's note or whatever. But you know, yeah. Thank you for saying that, by the way. But yeah, I don't think people were going there with that. Wow, you're like opening up my mind to so many things and kind of stuff you already know, but kind of didn't pay mind to because you're like, nah, lavender is not going to help me relax, or frankincense isn't going to do this or that. But yeah, it's stuff that's been around for, I mean, biblical times, like you said, gifts to Jesus and all that stuff.
Right. And they're smart. Oils are smart. Just like you take an ibuprofen, and if you have a headache and a footache, whichever hurts worse, that pain is going to go away. They know your brain knows which receptors the ibuprofen has to go to. Oils are the same way. So if you have something wrong and you inhale it, it's going to go to the place in your body that actually needs it. You can rub them on your feet. Yeah, it's crazy. They're really cool.
That's why I keep my hash oil stacked in my bed, you know, ready to go.
There you go.
There's the comedic part of this podcast. We always have some serious notes with underlying comedic tones here.
Well, you throw in the funny because I'm not that funny. So
well,
do the serious stuff. You do the funny stuff.
Well, you're on a serious mission. I mean, this is kind of cool what you're doing to, like Chad said earlier, to break the cycle of dysfunction from your family into, and not putting it on your kids is huge. And then to come on this discovery of, healing and stuff through natural ways is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's all interconnected. The body, mind, spirit, it's all together. You can't just do one. You got to fix all three at the same time, which is how I got into all the different things, because you can't just do one. Going to talk therapy is great, but then you're missing something else. So it's all works together.
Right. Mm. In accordance with each other. So like you said, and you're throwing stuff at the wall, kind of seeing what works and stuff, and you're doing it through natural or homeopathic ways and stuff. So it's like, yeah, why not kind of get them all going? And it makes sense too, right? You're working on all three of those issues rather than one, because maybe you start neglecting part of the other one. And, are there immediate fixes? Like, do you notice as you start talking to people, like this is a longer process they're going through, or is there something like they get immediate relief from? How does the kind of process work?
It really depends on the issue.
Sure.
If you're talking, are you talking like oils and homeopathic stuff? Or are you talking just general strategy? Because
I guess because you do like kind of therapy with people and have like clients or whatever. So I was just, if somebody came in, sullen, downtrodden, like, is there something that comes from the first meeting where they're like, okay, there's a little bit of light at this end of the tunnel here? Like,
well, yes, because most people come in and they're completely unaware of why they're feeling the way they're feeling. So there's immediate lighter. Everybody I've ever talked to is like, wow, I just feel lighter just talking to you for a few minutes, just lighter. But like if someone's having like a full-blown anxiety attack,
yeah,
I can go at that. But before I even go at that, I would be like, do you have any lavender? Do you have any Roman chamomile? Something just to get your mind. First of all, it's a mind, like a redirect.
Sure.
It takes your mind off of what you're doing, but it does drop those cortisol levels and those stress levels. But then there's strategies to go, breathing exercises and different things at different levels. I tell anybody that's the reason you want to know when you want to listen to all these kind of podcasts, so you can learn, because once you're in crises, you're kind of separated from your logical brain. So you're not thinking. So I tell people, if you practice all this stuff when you're not in crises, then it becomes its muscle memory. And then when you are in crises or are stressed out or having an anxiety attack, you pull out your tools that you already practiced and you can start to self-regulate.
Boom, shakalaka. So kind of doing some of that hard work, even though, you feel like you're at 100%, but kind of put in that work then for when times of trials and tribulations come up, you have that tool bag to kind of pull out and use.
Oh yeah, because you won't remember it. When you're in fight or flight, you're in fight or flight, and you're
You're
either
right.
flighting or you're fighting, and you're not logically thinking anything.
Well, you have that cool, calming vibe to you. So like that, I could tell just talking to you from right now, you put out some good vibes and like, nice, good vibes, healing stuff.
Well, I hope.
Yes.
That's the goal here.
And it's an inspirational story for you to come from, some of the things you were saying from your childhood is like shocking to hear. And like, you don't wish that on any kid to have to go through stuff like that. And, it breaks your heart kind of to hear those things. So to see you like become a stronger person from it and not use it to your demise is a fucking cool story. Pardon my French.
No, you're cool. No, and it's true. And that's what I do is it doesn't matter if you're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80, you can always flip it around, flip it around and just have a better life. But you have to be determined and you have to be willing to do the work because it's not always it's a simple process, but it's not an easy process.
So you're telling me, Tammy, that if I've been miserable for 75 years and I'm 75 years old, I could make a change for the better and get out of that rut?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Because the underlying thing is when you grow up in that kind of dysfunction, there's a couple underlying beliefs that just don't leave and they get buried so deeply. And it's ones that you're not worthy, you're not lovable, and you're not good enough. So you go through your whole life on the defensive, trying to prove yourself and being a doormat for everybody until you decide honestly in your heart of hearts that you are worthy of better. And then once you go through the work to decide that, then you start living out your life. You start setting boundaries. You start telling people what you need.
How empowering too, to realize like, I'm going to take this by the reins and, do that work and get it going, for yourself and stuff like that's very empowering to get on that right mind of thinking.
I actually had a client that was 71 and she actually left her husband. I was like, well, I wasn't really going for that. That wasn't what I was going for. But he wasn't a nice man. And she said, she's like, I'm 71. And she said, I literally, for the first time in my life, feel like I have my life back and it's mine.
Wow.
It's never too late. Yeah. I mean, it sounds shocking. 71-year-old getting out of a marriage, but if you've been stuck in that, maybe loveless marriage or abusive marriage, and it's like now you're getting the tools to get out of it, it really is never too late to be like, fuck, I could take control back of my life and be happy. I don't need to just go out miserably like this.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I think just to hear those words and people say them is like a cool thing, because you can get stuck in that route and be like, oh, this is how I've been doing it my whole life. Might as well just keep going along that path. But you could change it and make change for the better at any age. It doesn't matter whether you're, like you said, young, old, or in the middle.
Yep. You just have to decide you're worthy to do it.
Boom, shakalaka. And every human being on this planet is worthy of that, to at least love yourself so then you could go out and love the world.
Amen.
Amen to that,
Boom,
Tammy.
shakalaka, as you said.
Well, you're a ball of fun. So yeah, there was your joke, Tammy. You went from serious.
No, I'm actually funnier than that. That wasn't really that good, but
I knew it. But no,
we knew it was in there.
Exactly. But I really do. I like kind of the work that you're doing, and I like how you're going about things, and it's inspirational to hear. Do you have guests on your podcast? Do you do it solo? How does the flow work?
I do. I would like to do more solo, but I actually do mostly guests. So if anybody wants to come on, I just tell them to just book a chat with me. We talk. The only thing I ask is that it's stories of hope and healing. I don't want people to come on and be like, I'm freaking miserable and blah, like we're victors, not victims. So that's my message that I'm spreading. So that's the only prerequisite, is that we keep it positive.
Yeah. Keep it Dougie.
Yep.
A little bit of homework for you. Get one of those negative Nellies on there and do your healing transformation over the podcast and see if you could, pull them out and get them into the light.
There we go.
Fun little thing to do, exercise. But no, I completely get it, because you don't realize like a lot of your messaging and stuff like that out to the world can be uplifting rather than negative and bringing down. So yeah, positive messaging and all that stuff. But so it's in 2023 you've been doing this. How many episodes are we on?
157.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Do you have a certain time you do it every week, or do you just kind of?
No, I guess I should be better. I'm really inconsistent.
Sporadic.
I just might put 2 out in a day if I feel like jabbering. I have people every day. I open my email and I had like this morning, I had 7 people that were like, I want to come on your podcast. So I do things like Potapalooza where I did 10 recordings in one day. So I just try to stagger them on. And I really want to get it more interactive. I want people asking me like questions on SpeakPipe and then me building my episodes around that, because the more other people we can have on, the more the people that need to hear it will have the confidence to start asking questions.
Rock on. SpeakPipe. What is that? Is that an app?
Yeah, it's a little app and you can just go on and it's like you go SpeakPipe, Tammy Vincent Coaching, and then you can record like a 90-second recording, a question, and then I can take it and build it into the episode and give the answer there. And people like it because they like to hear their own voice on radio, first of all. Some people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is
Sean,
cool.
we should get that. Try that with
You should.
Chad, yes, we
that
should.
sounds really cool.
Bobby, get on it.
Bobby.
Bobby, are you? We have a producer back there that's in the background doing stuff. No, I like that SpeakPipe. I'm gonna put that in my notes, right, Bobby? So that's cool. So yeah, people do love to hear their voice on the podcast or the internet. So Tammy Vincent, let them know where they could find all your stuff online and how they can get in contact with you and all that jazz.
Honestly, the easiest place is to go to my podcast, which is Adult Child of Dysfunction. It's on every major platform. And I have in the show notes, I have every link to book a call, to get my course, to whatever you want to do. You can do it from the podcast show notes.
Boom
I'm
shot.
looking it up right now on YouTube.
Okay.
So I want to check it out.
Did you, because that name is like perfect, like to the point of kind of what you're trying to accomplish here. Was that why you went with such a direct title so people kind of know what the podcast is about straight off the get?
Yes, because and people go, oh, Adult Child of Dysfunction, that sounds like me. And I'm like, it sounds like all of us, honestly. Yeah. My YouTube channel has only been up for a little while, so there's not as much on there. But on the other, I think there's only like 50 episodes on there. But,
okay.
So like all the
did you find it?
Spotify, Pandora.
Yeah, it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I think 82% of my listeners are Apple Podcasts.
Shout out Apple.
Yeah, right.
Gotta love them. Yeah, so that's you're doing cool work, Tammy.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool.
You're gonna get a SpeakPipe from me, so be prepared for that. I got a couple doozies for you. So yeah, like you said, you're not on a schedule with it, but what do you say? You're putting out a bunch. You're putting out a couple per month at least.
I put at least 2. I try to do at least 1 to 2 a week for sure. Some weeks I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I put them out. I need to be more consistent with the days. It's actually going to start doing a live show, I think in April. And I think that's going to be on like Bold Brave TV and Roku and stuff like that. So that'll be a different way of, another platform, which will be fun. But yeah, I put them out whenever, and they're always out there. So sometimes I'll put one out at 11 o'clock at night. I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe I should be more consistent. Thanks.
No, but that's the beauty of a podcast is like if the moment's striking you and you have a message to get out there, you could put it out, record it, do it live, whatever, and then they're there forever. So it's like, yeah, maybe sometimes audience want a certain time for stuff, but I think the beauty of a podcast is, especially pre-recorded ones, is that you can put them out at all certain times and stuff.
Rogan just drops. He'll drop like 1-3 days in a row, and then he won't put out any for like a week. So yeah. Just do it.
And those are long.
Whatever, so however it feels.
You got to set aside some time to listen to those suckers.
Yes.
Yeah, I listen to them in the car while I'm driving usually, but I'm gonna check out some of these for sure. I found you on Spotify. I'll check it out there.
Okay, cool.
Boom. There we go. So Miss Tammy Vincent, we want to thank you for coming on. I think that we have a lot more to unpack here. The way we do it on this show is we always introduce the audience to cool guests and stuff like that, and we leave them kind of wanting some more, so we have some more room to talk to when you if you come back on, because we would for sure like to kind of follow you on this journey and kind of see how it's going and because you're affecting lives for the good. And that's kind of what we want to do on this podcast. Even though we get funny here and there, we want to bring good out. So
if it's not funny, it's not worth doing. You got to do it.
Damn.
Exactly.
I love it. Miss Tammy Vincent, please go check out her stuff, audience out there, and let us know some success stories. We love all this. So anything you want to let the audience know, Tammy?
No, thank you so much for having me on, and just know that you're worth it. Know that every single second that you spend bettering yourself and becoming the person you want to be is worth it.
What a beautiful
100%.
message.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. The one and only Tammy Vincent, folks. That was a cool show there, Chad.
Absolutely. She's great. I always applaud people that break the cycle. Like that's why I asked her about that, because it's usually the parents are messed up from their parents, and it's great to see that someone can become self-aware and break that cycle and become a better person. And then now she's passing it on to other people. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, freaking said there, Mr. Gracey. that was the beauty of it. And more to come, man. That was beautiful, eye-opening. I like the lavender. I might go take a lavender bath after this, Chad.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've done the lavender. It calms you down immediately. The other thing is, like, if you sniff coffee too, it kind of brings your cortisol levels down.
Really?
Did you ever know that? Yeah.
No, but every time I drink coffee, I run to the bathroom and drop a deuce.
Well, that's different because now it's in you.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. You know what though? I don't know if I really sniff my coffee before, and I'm kind of like in the morning, kind of going through the fucking thing and like, give me the coffee,
Yeah, try it. Just pick up your can. This usually ground coffee, but just take an inhale. It gives you a nice calming effect.
Yeah. On that Keurig thing, so I don't really have the ground coffee.
Yeah.
I got lazy or easy, whatever.
Smelling the top of your unopened Keurig is not going to calm you down.
Not gonna do it, folks. Let's bring on our lovely producer, Mr. Rob Bobby Yankee, to say hello to the audience.
Yeah, we got to get that speak pipe thing, Bobby. That sounds freaking cool.
Yeah, it does. Great. Yeah. I'm gonna look into that. Yeah, and on the lavender, I was actually watching something the other day about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was originally created with natural fruits. Well, there was cocaine in it, but if you smell a can of Coca-Cola, you could smell lavender. You'll smell the lavender. You could smell Coca-Cola. It smells just like lavender. I want to just go through a couple things here.
Rock on. My Coca-Cola doesn't smell like lavender. I'm just putting that out there. I smell caramel, not lavender, when I open up a can of Coke. Just saying.
You have to get with cane sugar. The Coca-Cola in America. Yeah, the Coca-Cola in America has
dude.
Fructose corn syrup in it.
Yeah, I'm hoping Bobby Kennedy gets rid of that shit because it's gross.
Still,
high fructose corn syrup is disgusting.
I want my Coca-Cola from the United States of America, high fructose syrup and all, baby. Let's go.
You don't want your tariffed Mexican
right?
Coca-Cola?
Okay. This is my friend. This is her photo again. It's #1 right now. She's actually she's a #1. So if you want to vote for her, her name's Stephanie Locke at America's Favorite Photos.
Where americasfavoritephotos.com?
Yeah.
Rock on. Let's scroll up and see that cat one more time. Let me see that pussy.
Hey, look at that
pussy.
Hey now.
Looks like a tiger.
That pussy's got teeth.
Yeah, baby. I don't know if is she yawning there because she looks like she could be about to attack or yawn, or she's happy.
Yeah, she's yawning.
Cute little fluffball.
I also wanted to show this video. If you guys want to watch this video real quick.
What is it?
It's breastfeeding?
It's a little esoteric. So I'll put it on.
Esoteric?
Quantum computers.
It looked like the full,
see the Masons.
This compass, the Masonic compass, which is not, I'm not doing some kind of lesbian.
Oh, that was on the
scissoring.
Grammys? The Oscars?
What is that thing?
Dune.
That's full on Masonic.
Oh, that's Dune. Okay. The spice.
I don't know if the background with the gears, I was almost getting like a Metropolis vibe.
Totally.
And there's the three. There's always the three in the occult. It looks like Donald Trump hairs and see Kyle's.
I think Conan O'Brien's dad was like a famous microbiologist.
Interesting.
Which is a very dangerous field.
Wowzers. Are those AI generated images, Bobby? Because those were certainly Freemason signs in the background.
That's the Oscars. That was the Oscars.
From the Oscars.
You just gotta have your eyes open to see it. Most 99% of people don't see everything. It's all rituals. Everything is rituals that's put in front of people's faces.
I didn't watch it because I knew it would just be woke fest and
woke fest shit. But yeah, I mean, that's been shit in Hollywood for a very long time. All the cultish like thoughts and whatever is going on, and the kind of fucking evilness of Hollywood. We're starting to uncover and find out what's going on with Epstein's list. Is this motherfucker out yet?
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in this. I'm kind of pissed off.
Yeah,
they're not gonna give anything to nobody.
If they don't, that's when the fucking people of the United States should revolt. There's no way we could keep shitty motherfucking child molesters behind closed doors when there's a list out there with their fucking name on it.
And there's like fuckery with Bondi. Like what, she only thought there was 200 pages, and they gave them to those influencers. They're all waving it around. It's the same shit we've already seen. Like, and then it's like, oh no, they're all in the Southern District of New York. Like, well, you didn't fucking know that before you put it out. Like, not happy.
No, not happy.
Not happy about this.
I just want to know who's holding up the list. Like, who's the person that fucking puts this list out and we now have access to it?
Well, the whole theory is that, I mean, like it or not, Trump is very, very into Israel, which is fine, whatever. But like, Epstein was a Mossad agent. So that's the running theory, that Israel's not going to let it come out because of the Mossad agent, Epstein being Mossad agent. And
who runs this?
I don't know if that's real or, but exactly. Yeah. Well, who runs this bitch? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the fucking U.S. does. And if Israel is fucking behind that or whatever, no fucking way that list stays silent. We know it's out there. We know they have it, and the people fucking demand it. I mean, what more do you fucking, that should be priority number one, people, because as Tammy's talking, those are cycles that could fucking be broken, and children don't have to get fucking hurt anymore because these scumbags are no longer fucking part of this society. Like, the fact that there's evil losers like that out there and there's a list with their fucking name on it and we don't have access to it is crazy.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
I mean, they tried Ghislaine Maxwell for fucking, trafficking children to who?
Yeah.
Well, she's in jail for trafficking children to who?
Right.
I want to see Anonymous try to do something, try to hack and get the list out there.
Somebody needs.
I mean,
yeah. Somebody needs.
I mean, listen, Trump is great and he's doing great things, but there's still larger forces in the world that are controlling shit.
True.
Yeah,
that's for sure. True. He's trying to break that down. I think. I mean, whether he can break it all down or not, we'll see. But like, there's definitely other larger forces in the world working.
And I'm sure
all this.
I'm sure Doge is a huge part of that because everything is a money fucking trail. So it's like that should be.
Well, it turns out, I think USAID and a bunch of our agencies were funding all this shit. So cutting off the funding is the first step.
Yeah. And who's against fucking looking into our government bloat and where our tax dollars are going? Because if you are, then you're probably part of the problem that we're speaking about.
Well, it's the elites that were profiting from it, and then they put out their little message, and all the sheeple that didn't profit from it was like, yeah, it's bullshit. We don't want it to happen. Like,
Chad, don't get me going here, bro, because I'm fucking. It's just crazy. It's like the fact that we know there's a fucking list and it's not out is absurd. It's just absurd. It makes no fucking sense to me.
Mr. Dennis Fink, who I know, he says, the rich protecting the rich. Of course, yes. Exactly.
Yeah, basically, but enough protection when you're fucking hurting innocent kids and fucking lives. There's no need for you to be protected. You fucked up. You no longer have the protection of anybody. You're a fucking evil loser.
If anyone watching does not know about Isaac Cappy, go look him up.
Isaac Cappy
really
fascinating.
I might have to look him up.
Isaac Cappy unalived himself after he said he wouldn't because, you know, he was exposing all the pedophiles in Hollywood, naming them. He named them.
And where did he come up with the names?
He was in the club.
Yeah,
he was
Seth Green's best friend, and one day Seth Green basically told him that he was a pedophile, and from then on he was like, "What the fuck?" Spielberg, Hanks, lots of big names.
Wow.
And then about, I don't know, it wasn't too long after that, he said, "I'm not suicidal." Blah blah blah. Supposedly jumped off a bridge in Arizona and killed himself.
Whoa.
You ever heard this?
No.
Yeah. Come on, man.
No, dude. And why am I only hearing about it now, Chad? Come on, dude. This is our podcast. This should have been fucking put out there a long time ago, bro.
Go look it up, man.
Wow.
It's
Tom Hanks left the country. Tom Hanks
Hold on a
in
second
America.
there, Rob Bobby Yankee. That's a fucking nice trail you just led there, Chad. That's like eye-opening.
Yeah. I thought you knew about that.
No, dude. I'm fucking in the dark about that. Let's fucking go.
I've been knowing about that for years.
Well, Bobby's World. Hello.
Well, I'm trying to show you. All
right, go ahead.
I mean, that's one of the basics. We thought you were up on Isaac Cappy.
Yeah,
Bobby and
Isaac Cappy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, Isaac Cappy. He didn't kill himself.
Of course not. He like I said, he did a whole video saying, "I'm not suicidal."
Yeah,
I'm not suicidal.
Wow.
About a month later,
he did a whole video exposing the Masons, exposing their rituals, exposing everything.
That's probably how deep it goes. Is those fucking Masonic or fucking whatever, those high fucking secret groups. Like, why do you have to be a secret group with a membership? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on behind closed doors that people can't know about?
But he talks about, didn't he talk about how chicken is like code word for kids, and that's why Seth Green makes robot chicken. He what they do is they put this stuff out into the world so that you accept it, and then they feel like that's how they justify what they're doing.
It's like karma.
They don't directly tell you what it is, but they put out things to go, "Oh yeah, well, this is what I'm doing. I'm this robot chicken. I'm a fucking pedophile, basically." And then when you don't push back on it, they're like, "Okay, it's accepted. I'm good."
It's their way of justifying it. Yeah, exactly.
So who put out the movie Robot Chicken? That sounds like he's motherfucking on this list too.
Seth Green.
No, Seth Green wrote Robot Chicken. It was an Adult Swim cartoon. Yeah. You never watched Robot Chicken?
Nope.
It's funny.
Never
That's
been
Seth Green.
Wow, dude, what the motherfuck, bro? So Seth Green is a fucking child molester. This is like allegedly.
Allegedly, that's what Isaac Cappy was saying. That he was his best friend.
Holy fuck, bro. Well, there's fucking Domino 1. And has Seth Green answered to any of this or fucking put out a statement? Because if you're remaining silent while somebody's
said anything about it that I know of, how about you, Bobby?
That would probably be your silence is deafening, then, motherfucker. If somebody's sitting there putting out fucking child molesting terms on anybody, wouldn't you be like, no, prove it, motherfucker? That never fucking happened if you had nothing to do with it? Like, wow, bro. That silence is deafening, bro.
Uh-huh.
Holy
crazy.
Fuck.
That's why there's a Masonic lodge. In every town, practically, there's a Masonic lodge.
That's true. But yeah, why are there secret societies with memberships and stuff like that? What are you doing behind closed doors? Again, I'm just asking these questions because it makes no sense to have secret societies. What's being done in secrecy? If what you're doing is so good, let the world know what's going on behind those fucking closed doors. In my opinion, I mean, it just seems like things done in secrecy lead to fucking shittiness. And I don't understand it. If you're doing such good behind those closed doors, fucking let the world in on it and let us know what's going on there, you fucks. God,
I have a video of him. You want me to bring it up? I have a video of him.
Bring it up, Bobby.
Isaac Cappy, yeah. Let's see it.
Let's go.
Seth Green, suicidal. Did I lie about Seth Green? No, Seth Green's a pedophile. Am I afraid of something? I'm afraid of, no. I should be, because bad things are coming my way. I can assure you of that. I'm gonna go now. And maybe I'll come back. We'll see. But stay in the light. Stay in the moment. Maybe I'll be back later. I love you. Take care, okay? I'm not.
That was one of his last. That was one of his last posting.
Bro.
Yeah, that's the one where he's
Before
saying
his-
he's not suicidal. He said it over and over again.
Yeah.
There's another video where he's naming names. He's naming Spielberg and
Yeah,
Tom
that's
Hanks.
a long one. It's like 3 hours. It's like a 3-hour video. He goes into everything about the Freemason rituals, how they get, how they're sworn to secrecy, and if you do spill the secrets, they your throat is cut and they put your fucking tongue out through your throat. Crazy ass way it kills them.
What's that called? Something necktie? What is that called?
Yeah, Cuban necktie or
Cuban
Colombian,
necktie, yes.
Colombian,
Colombian necktie, yeah.
Colombian,
Colombian necktie. There we go.
Colombian, yeah.
Russian, Colombian,
Russian, Chinese, whatever.
The American necktie. It's gonna be because we're gonna fucking do this to all these fucking people that are behind these closed doors. Because Jesus Christ, man, that is fucking that. But that's the fact that I'm not hip to that is like the fact that should be fucking bigger news, man. Like that should be mainstream media. Mainstream media. Why aren't you fucking covering shit like this?
I would venture to say that most of the people that he names in his video, guess what party they are?
That I don't care about because I'm sure it happens on both sides. I mean,
the most are left, I would say.
Yeah.
Evil runs across both aisles, I'm sure. But
I agree with that, but like there's only one party that keeps trying to pass laws to lessen the sentences for fucking child molesters and pedophiles.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good fucking point. Good point. Yeah,
and
I
keep
guess
putting up state and federal fucking law, like trying to pass these bills. Like, oh no, you shouldn't punish, pedophiles so harshly. It's like, no, you should hang them up by their fucking balls.
Yes.
Excuse my language, Mom.
Castrate them, exactly. I mean, make a fucking example out of these people. Sorry, Mama Gracey. Now you got me going. But god damn it, dude. It's like I just don't understand why anybody protecting these people is fucking part of it. And that's it. Fucking we know that this shit is out there and we demand fucking answers and want to get to the bottom of it. So
that's why I'm disappointed with Pam Bondi right now.
Because
not putting out the real Epstein stuff.
Oh, so she is like she is controlling this list.
She's the attorney general, right? She's the AG.
She's the AG. She said she was putting it out. She said I have the file sitting on my desk, and then next thing you know, we get this 200 pages of bullshit.
Yeah.
That everyone already knew about. It was all crap we've already seen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh no, they're all in the Southern District of New York. Well, like I said earlier, it's like you didn't know that before you made this whole big statement that you're putting out the Epstein files. Like there's something fishy going on.
Yeah, dude.
What's happening?
Yeah, dude. And
so, as we always say on the show, I'll call out both sides. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
Like right is right, wrong is wrong.
Absolutely.
Why make this big deal about it and then go, oh no, we forgot they're in the Southern District of New York and we can't get to them right now because that's like what?
Isn't that the beauty, Chad, of being a good person is you could call out fucking scumbags and not have to fucking worry about anything in return? Like, what are you going to say about us, bitch? Like, we're fucking good people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the truth.
We have potty mouths, but we're good people.
Exactly. My actions go way further than my fucking words. And that's a fucking serious statement, people. God damn it, man. I'm just, it's absurd. Like that should be the number one thing is on people's fucking brains right now. Get that list out here, expose these people and go ahead. Let's put them through the fucking American system and see how that works. I'm talking the criminal system.
But there's going to be, there's going to be names on there that are gigantic, huge, famous people.
Yeah, you still have
exactly.
What was it? Prince, the prince that disappeared in UK.
Prince Andrew?
Yeah, Prince Andrew. He disappeared.
Yeah, well, I don't know that girl. Why is there a picture with you and your arm around her then, dude?
Yeah. And
like,
she was
what
like
the fuck?
13 or 14 years old. That's crazy.
Isn't there pictures with Clinton with that same girl?
Yeah, I think he was in the background of that Prince Andrew picture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's a lot of pictures of Clinton with some young girls too.
Oh,
The fact that Epstein has a painting of Bill Clinton in the Monica Lewinsky dress above the fucking fire mantle or whatever is like telling, like, that's crazy, man.
No, that was as you walked into that big house he had in New York City. Like that was in the foyer.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was on fucking Epstein's Island. That was on fucking his.
No, and then there was another painting of I think George Bush. Yeah.
With the airplanes. He had the flying. He was with
George
the
W.
little kid. Yeah.
Wow.
At the World Trade Center.
That every time I see that picture, the one of Clinton with the blue dress on, everyone's like, "Why is he wearing a blue dress?" I'm like, Jesus Christ, Monica Lewinsky, blue dress. Come on, people, wake up!
Wake
up!
99% of people they don't think. They don't really critically think of anything.
Dude, how crazy is it that fucking somebody that dark and evil can make it all the way to the fucking White House, bro? Like, that's a fucking problem.
Well, Bobby, did you watch that? Did you watch the whole press conference where they were debunking Obama's birth certificate? America.
I didn't watch the whole press conference.
If Trump was right about that, dude, I'm gonna fucking blow my lid.
I guarantee Trump was right. I guarantee that.
You also guarantee that the world is
interview.
flat, Bobby. So I'm not taking your guarantees.
Bobby, can you pull up part of that press conference they had where they're going through? They have the source birth certificate and they have his birth certificate. And
dude, he was high on that.
They're taking it down to like there's this is back in the 60s, 50s. When was Obama born? But they were hand stamping like the dates in little squares or little rectangles on the thing. And they're taking the hand stamp from the woman's birth certificate and transfer, and it matches directly with the hand stamps on Obama's certificate. The angles, the stamps, the fluctuations in the numbers and the ink, and they went through this whole thing. Like it's totally fake. It's totally fake.
Allegedly,
and you can call me conspiracy theory or not, but they just put this out in public. If you think it's a conspiracy theory, go watch the video and tell me it's fucking not fake.
They call it 9 points of forgery. Hold on, let me bring it up. Let me see if it comes up. If this is the right one.
If fucking Trump was right about that, dude, that's a freaky motherfucker. I thought you had it prepared.
No, I was. All right, the media is showing how Obama's birth certificate was changed. He was never born in the U.S., so he was never a real president. It's saying that it's no. Says claims that former President Barack Obama is not a U.S. citizen, and it was forged were thoroughly debunked. Yeah, I think Obama was just he was born. No, I can't find it. I can't find the video for it. They have it. They have it. Hold on. Let me see what this is.
Yeah,
it was the former sheriff from video. The former sheriff from Maricopa County was hired by certain people to see if this birth certificate was a forgery. Yeah. And so he hired a bunch of forgery experts.
Loading. I don't know why.
Like I think 5 or 10 guys that were forgery experts, and they pulled it all apart. It's wild to watch.
Wow. It's just like, and Trump was really high on that horse for a while, and then he backed off on it because the world fucking came after him. If that's the fucking case,
just think of the ramifications of that.
Yeah. That, I mean, you're not allowed. You
started getting into the theories of Obama was just a CIA plant the whole time.
What the fuck, man? Mind is being blown over here, folks. Bobby, how are we looking on that video?
I cannot find it. They have it locked. She said. They have it like. They have it.
I would think that they would lock that down. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, we're getting to a lot here, folks.
I would
on
have
today's
to
show.
I watched it on X.
I would have to go on the dark web, but that's gonna take a while. Maybe next time.
No, for next episode, next Tuesday or whenever.
I could go on the dark web and see if I can find it.
So wait for that for.
Yeah, you're frozen.
I'm going to shut him off for now so he doesn't keep talking in the background. And, I'm searching for a video right now. I can't find it. But anyway, dude, wow, you just fucking blew my mind on a lot of fucking things, man.
Jamie's on here. What in the uncle? She never answered me on friggin' on Instagram to Jamie. I wrote you on Instagram. You never answered me. You looked at my message, but you never answered me. Come on.
Darn it, Jamie. What in the Uncle Eddie is going on here? Hey, this is the show today, Jamie. Don't hate, participate. We're uncovering and letting the world know what the fuck is going on here, man. This podcast just went from comedic to journalist gonzo style.
Yeah, Stephanie Locke said we're in 2025 and we still don't know what's going on. What a goddamn thing. Exactly. It's true.
Want to overlay
now
chats here?
She's going to pick a day. Yes. Just let me know.
Where does that scroll to?
Now we're doing it outside of the every Tuesday. We can do a special episode just to accommodate guests. So
not for Jamie though. That's for cool guests, Chad. Not for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Joking, Jamie. We love you. Yeah, man. This was a fucking cool little podcast today, Bobby. What do you got going on over there? You dark webbing it up and letting the world know that you're on there ordering stuff.
He's on tour. He's on the.
There we go.
He's on DuckDuckGo. Bobby's hacking.
Yeah, I'm on tour, but it's gonna take a while. I gotta.
That's all right. Get it ready for the next episode. We'll do it next time.
Next show. Yeah. So a lot of information on this show today, folks. Please go check out Miss Tammy Vincent and audience. We'd love to, anybody working with her and stuff like that. We'd love to hear journeys and stuff like that. If you guys are, into putting that out there to the world. I know things get private. But if you want to, it sounds like she's doing some pretty cool work and it's all natural, holistic. So like she said, throw as much natural and holistic shit at the wall, see what sticks. Why not?
Exactly.
It can't hurt.
Yeah. See what helps you. It's not like you're going to get addicted to it or freaking, overdose on it. So
all of a sudden I'm fucking over here grinding up lavender, whiffing it up like crazy.
It's fucking frankincense.
Fuck this, man. Let's go. Yeah. Give me that frankincense and myrrh, man.
Merman.
It's
Merman.
Dude, I heard frankincense and myrrh. So like the priests going down the aisle and it's like smoking. Yes. I heard they had fucking marijuana in that thing back in the day, and that they were just getting the church high, bro. Yep. Wasn't frankincense or myrrh? I did hear the tree of life, Chad. The burning bush. I'm sorry, the burning bush. I heard that was a DMT bush, believe it or not. Look it up, folks.
It was an acacia bush, right? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
I just speak in things.
Was high.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He's like, thou shalt not kill, man. Thou shalt not steal, dude.
Thou shalt not covet thy
neighbor's wife,
dude.
Man. Yeah.
Don't be trying to F your neighbor's wife, bro. It's not cool.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain, bro. All real good things, though. From the Mount Sinai, I believe, was where Moses went to get those things.
Apparently.
Speaking of Sinai, I got a sinus infection. I feel my head is like fucking, crazy head.
Crazy head. All right.
Yeah. Kind of emotional head. Yeah. Anyway. This was a fucking great show. Like, not to toot our own horn here, Chad, but you put on a good show today, dude.
Hey, thanks. You had some great questions for our guests.
Thank you. No, it was fun. It was just eye-opening. Tammy put out a lot of good information. The stuff we got into fucking with Seth Green and all that stuff, dude. Like, wow, what a fucking.
Oh, go check more of that out. Yeah, it's wild. That's wild. Isaac Cappy.
Jesus Christ, man. It's just like. The fact that he's just in the world opening, like being comedic, and he's a fucking molester allegedly is like absurd.
Jamie just said it's Fat Tuesday. I had no idea. It's Fat Tuesday.
What does Fat Tuesday mean? We can
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
You know what Mardi Gras is?
Cinco de Mayo. I know that. Mardi Gras. No, I know what Mardi Gras is, but does that mean
the big day of Mardi Gras is called Fat Tuesday, which is today.
Did not know that part of Mardi Gras.
Let's look up Fat Tuesday.
Yes. Bobby should have been looking that up for you, Chad.
I just do it myself.
Thank you.
Let's see.
What do we got here? But happy Fat Tuesday, folks. And what I'm going to do on Fat Tuesday is get fat. Dude, I had some carbs yesterday. And believe it or not, man, immediately after eating fucking Domino's pizza, I felt like shit.
Oh, well, if you hadn't had carbs forever, yeah, it's Mr. Carnivore.
That's right. Hey, I do veggies too. It's a lot of meat and veggies, but I mean, what better way to fucking live, man?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So French Mardi Gras means, so Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday.
Boom.
There you go.
I didn't. So the Spanish term for Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday. Rock on.
No, French.
French for Tuesday is fucking Mardi Gras. There we go.
Yeah,
Anywho, what do we have on the agenda, Mr. Gracey? Do we have an upcoming, no bonus shows, but we're going to do an Instagram live sometime, maybe towards the end of the week-ish, beginning of next. We're going to iron that down.
Yeah, I have the kids until the 9th, so
yeah,
maybe the beginning of next, maybe
that's
Monday or something.
Probably going to be a lot better for the week that's going on right here, right now. Just putting it out there, folks. But yeah, a lot to unpack on this episode. I'm gonna have to go watch and rewatch this bad boy to get all we got on there.
There you go.
TammyVincent.com. We're coming up with a website. Seth Green is a fuckhead.com.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And all that jazz. Bobby, say goodbye to the audience real quick.
I wanted to say Mardi Gras is about getting fat, having fun, partying before Lent. Tomorrow, Lent begins.
Right, Ash Wednesday.
Wednesday is tomorrow.
Rock on. Are you getting ashes, Bobby?
Go out there and eat a bunch of donuts and stuff.
I may. I don't know. Probably not, though. I don't recognize regular religion.
Organized religion.
No, not really.
If you need some ashes, go right into your ashtray and you could do that. Where are they getting their ashes from, by the way? These holy ashes that they're giving everybody on Wednesday. Is it from burned frankincense and myrrh? Like, what are those ashes that they're putting on?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Maybe it's those pot ashes I was talking about earlier, Chad. The priest.
Jamie, do you know what ashes they use on Ash Wednesday? We'll ask her. She seems to know a lot here.
Yes.
She's throwing out all the facts.
Maybe
my mom's texting me Foss nuts, which are basically donuts.
Yeah, the Catholics.
What? That's what the ashes are?
Oh, I'm saying Ash Wednesday is a Catholic. It's a Catholic observant.
Oh, they burn the palms. Okay, so it's
palms.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. The palm is what didn't they do palms with Christ when he was something with the crucifixion? He's walking the streets with the.
Were they fanning him with palms, or were they
maybe something like that? Yeah, I just got it. Yeah, I haven't read the Bible for a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And not that it's such an easy read, too. By the way, it's they speak in parables, which is kind of nuts. Like, get direct to the point and let me know. Don't make me kind of.
Bill seems to know all about this. No, they burn palm leaves. Okay, there's the ashes from palm leaves.
Yeah.
What is the significance of the palms? That's my ask.
She called us heathens.
You heathens.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, we're barbaric today. But yeah, Bobby, anything you want to say goodbye to the audience, or?
Bye, everybody. Thank you for keeping up with the show. I love you all. Thank you.
The one and only Bobby, folks. Good stuff there, Bobby. I love putting Bobby on the spot. You could tell he's ready to go with something.
Well, he better have. I want him to find the birth certificate video. Cause I mean, it makes total sense. They fucking locked that down because I watched it live. I think it was on X. I watched it.
Mr. Hines has some jokes for us today.
Here's a parable. No Italian should eat Domino's.
Agreed, Bill. Agreed. Big time. Catholic schoolgirl.
Like you live in the land of great pizza, and you break your carnivore diet and have friggin' Domino's. Come on, man.
Well, as I do live in the world of great pizza, I'm in South Jersey, and their North Jersey, New York pizza didn't make it down this far. So,
really?
Yeah.
They have shitty pizza in South Jersey?
I wouldn't say shitty, but it's not exactly those fucking New York slices that are oh so good.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
just saying.
Hasn't Dave Portnoy found a good pizza place in South Jersey?
Well, since we're going to be on Barstool Sports' fucking podcast network soon that Bobby's working on, we might know, sir.
Hey,
we might know.
Yeah, well, you just made an announcement, huh? You didn't even...
Allegedly, just saying, allegedly. But fun show, good information. Not Not a lot of times you get good information on the Gracious too, but today you did. Gotta fucking bust our balls too, Chad. We can't just bust the world's.
Hey, of course.
Yeah,
of
man.
course.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, buddy.
There you go.
But gracious audience, thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for listening to us put some bullshit or put some shit in bullshit. Or as Bill Hines said, take the shit out of bullshit, because we kind of
we're in
a lot
trouble.
of people. What?
Jamie's a Catholic school girl. This explains a lot.
Ah, yes. I went to a private Catholic high school too, Jamie. So I know you girls very well.
Allegedly.
Love the uniform, not allegedly. Anyway, it's been fun. It's been real. We shall see you soon.
See ya.
Peace.